Your handgun is handicapped straight from the factory, running at barely half its potential because manufacturers care more about legal departments than actual performance. I'm showing you 10 tricks that transform your gun for free. But first, smash that subscribe button, because you'll want to remember every single one of these forbidden methods. The spring weight conspiracy. Factory recoil springs are overbuilt by design, averaging 18 to 22 pounds of pressure, when most defensive calibers only need 11 to 14 pounds to cycle reliably. A 2019 study from the Firearms Training Institute found that 73% of production handguns ship with springs rated at least 30% heavier than required for proper function. Manufacturers engineer for the absolute worst scenario: someone using corroded bargain ammunition, never cleaning the weapon, and holding it with a limp wrist that would make a doctor cringe. Every time you pull the trigger, that excessive spring force violently slams the slide forward with unnecessary momentum. Your muzzle dips downward after each shot by an average of 12 to 15 degrees, according to high-speed camera analysis. Swapping to a properly calibrated spring in the 11 to 13 pound range eliminates that aggressive dip. Your sights track flat, follow-up shots become 40% faster in controlled testing, and the entire shooting experience transforms from fighting the gun to controlling it. The difference is so dramatic that many shooters report feeling like they're shooting a completely different gun after this simple change. But here's what nobody tells you about springs. The trade-off isn't just performance versus reliability. What you're really gambling with is something most shooters never even consider, and it's hiding in the next modification: grip geometry modification. The human hand applies an average of 30 to 40 pounds of grip pressure during normal shooting, but that drops to less than 12 pounds when hands are wet, bloody, or covered in any moisture. Standard factory grip textures are designed to pass a 15-second handling test in a climate-controlled gun store, not to perform under actual stress conditions. Most production handguns use what's called safe texturing. Mild enough that it won't irritate hands during brief handling, but almost useless for controlling recoil under stress. The modification involves either aggressive stippling with a soldering iron or applying industrial-grade silicon carbide particles embedded in marine epoxy. Professional competition shooters have measured grip slip reduction of over 80%, with properly executed grip enhancement. Your hand locks into position even when completely soaked, and recoil management becomes dramatically more consistent. The cost is comfort and practicality. Aggressive grip textures will destroy the inside of holsters within 200 to 300 draw cycles and will shred clothing if you carry inside the waistband. Your resale value drops to nearly zero because most buyers want a versatile gun, not a specialized tool. Law enforcement agencies that have tested aggressive grip textures report officers maintaining better control during high-stress scenarios, even with sweaty or gloved hands. But here's the real question: what good is a comfortable gun if you can't hold on to it when it matters? Bore axis reduction. Bore axis is the distance from the center of the barrel to the top of your grip, and it's the single biggest factor in muzzle flip that most shooters never think about. Every millimeter of bore axis creates leverage that recoil uses to rotate the gun upward. A gun with 30mm bore axis experiences roughly 65% more rotational force during recoil compared to one with 20mm bore axis when firing identical ammunition. The trick is an aggressive trigger guard undercut that allows your hand to sit approximately 6 to 8 millimeters higher on the frame. You're physically reducing the distance between the barrel and your grip, which directly translates to reduced leverage for recoil to work against you. Competitive shooters who've made this modification report 30 to 45% faster recovery between shots in timed drills. The danger is structural integrity. Polymer frames typically have wall thickness of 3 to 4 millimeters in the trigger guard area. Removing more than 40% of that material can create a weak point that cracks under impact. Once you grind away that material, there's no putting it back. The modification is permanent, and your warranty is instantly void. Some manufacturers have started offering factory undercut models, after seeing how popular this modification became in the competition world? Drop a comment below. Have you ever measured your gun's bore axis? Or is this the first time you're hearing about how much it actually affects your shooting? Sight configuration secret. Human visual processing can focus sharply on exactly one distance at a time, yet most factory handguns ship with 3-dot sight systems that force your brain to process multiple focal points simultaneously. Cognitive load studies show that processing 3 identical white dots, a front sight, and then a target creates what neurologists call decision paralysis. Your visual cortex wastes 0.4 to 0.7 seconds trying to determine which dot deserves attention. Modern eye-tracking research reveals that experienced shooters spend 89% of their visual attention on the front sight, making the rear dots not just useless, but actively distracting. The fix costs less than $10 and takes 5 minutes. You completely black out the rear sight dots with permanent marker or model paint, leaving yourself with a plain black rear notch and one high-visibility front sight. Your eye instinctively snaps to that single point of contrast. Target acquisition speed increases by an average of 35% in controlled studies, and tracking moving targets becomes significantly smoother. The trade-off is minimal. You're removing visual information that was causing interference anyway. The only real concern is that in extremely low light conditions, without a weapon-mounted light, you might struggle to find your sights at all. This modification works especially well when paired with a bright fiber optic or tritium front sight that creates maximum contrast against the blacked-out rear. Trigger contact surface. Factory triggers use stamped sheet metal because it costs approximately 85 cents per unit versus $12 to $18 for a properly machined component. That stamping process leaves microscopic burrs and rough edges measuring 15 to 40 microns in height, invisible to the naked eye but easily felt during the trigger press. The mechanical interaction happens at 3 primary contact points: the trigger bar against the connector, the cruciform against the firing pin lug, and the safety plunger against the trigger bar. The modification involves using 2,000 grit sandpaper or polishing compound with a felt wheel to smooth these contact surfaces to a mirror finish. You're not removing material to change geometry. You're eliminating microscopic imperfections. Trigger pull weight drops to 4.5 to 5 pounds with dramatically reduced friction. The risk is irreversible damage if done incorrectly. If you round off engagement angles or remove too much material from safety surfaces, you can create a gun that fires when dropped or bumped. There are documented cases of modified handguns discharging during routine handling because someone polished away critical engagement geometry. Your warranty evaporates immediately, and if the gun ever malfunctions after this modification, you're facing serious liability exposure. What's your current trigger pull weight? And have you ever actually measured it with a scale, or are you just guessing? Lock time reduction. Lock time is the delay between when the trigger releases the striker and when the firing pin actually impacts the primer. And most shooters have no idea this delay even exists. Measured with high-speed cameras, factory handguns typically have lock times ranging from 0.0026 to 0.0042 seconds. Factory strikers are made from cheap metal injection molding and weigh 28 to 35 grams, driven by springs compressed to 5.5 to 6.5 pounds of force. That heavy mass moving under moderate spring pressure creates measurable lag between trigger brake and ignition. The upgrade involves replacing the factory striker with a skeletonized or titanium version weighing 18 to 22 grams, paired with a precisely calibrated spring. The lighter striker accelerates faster under the same spring tension, cutting lock time to 0.0018 to 0.0024 seconds. Your accuracy improves because there's less time for human error to disturb the sight picture between trigger press and ignition. The danger is ignition reliability if the system isn't balanced correctly. Some shooters experience failure rates of 5 to 8% with poorly configured striker systems. Professional gunsmiths recommend testing at least 500 rounds of your carry ammunition after this modification to verify reliable ignition before trusting your life to it. Feed ramp solution. Ammunition feeding reliability comes down to a transition zone measuring roughly 12 to 18 millimeters long, where the bullet exits the magazine and enters the chamber. US factory barrel ramps are cut with generic angles averaging 28 to 32 degrees, and typically show visible machining marks measuring 8 to 15 microns deep. The modification is polishing the feed ramp to a mirror finish using jeweler's rouge, fine polishing compound, and careful technique. You're removing microscopic tool marks and smoothing the transition angle. Properly polished ramps reduce friction by 60 to 75%, and reliability testing shows failure rates dropping below 0.1%, even with difficult ammunition. The catastrophic error is removing material from the chamber hood, where the ramp transitions to the chamber mouth. In high-pressure calibers like 10mm or .40 Smith & Wesson operating at 35,000 psi, unsupported brass can bulge or rupture catastrophically. The result is what shooters call a kaboom, a case failure that can destroy the gun and cause serious injury. Extractor upgrade. The extractor is a small, hook-shaped claw that grabs the rim of a spent casing and violently yanks it out of the chamber during the ejection cycle. It experiences forces exceeding 400 pounds per square inch during each shot and flexes thousands of times during normal use. Yet 87% of modern production handguns use metal injection molding for this critical component, because it costs $1.30 to produce versus $11 for a machined version. Metallurgical testing shows MIM extractors lose 30 to 40% of their spring tension after 5,000 to 8,000 rounds. And catastrophic failures typically occur between 12,000 and 20,000 rounds. The replacement is a tool steel extractor that's precision machined and properly heat treated. The geometry is sharper, the material is denser, and the spring tension remains consistent for 50,000 plus rounds. Reliability testing shows machined extractors maintaining 95% of their original tension after extended use, while MIM versions drop to 60% or less. The complications are warranty termination and potential compatibility issues. Some manufacturers warn that aftermarket extractors can cause accelerated slide wear or timing problems if the tension is wrong. Installation requires understanding proper extractor tension. Too tight causes failures to eject, too loose causes failures to extract. Many competitive shooters consider this the single most important reliability upgrade they've ever made to their carry guns. Have you ever had an extractor fail on you mid-range session? And if so, how many rounds do you think were on that gun before it happened? Magazine disconnect elimination. The magazine disconnect is a mechanical safety device that physically prevents the gun from firing if the magazine is removed, even if there's a live round in the chamber. Defensive gun use statistics show that 8 to 12% of armed encounters involve some kind of physical struggle where the gun gets grabbed, manipulated, or damaged. If your magazine release gets bumped or deliberately pressed during a fight, the disconnect turns your loaded gun into a useless brick. The mechanism typically uses a spring-loaded plunger or lever that blocks the trigger bar when the magazine is absent, adding 0.5 to 1.2 pounds of pull weight. Removing the disconnect involves disassembling the frame and extracting a small spring and plunger or lever. The trigger pull immediately becomes 15 to 25% lighter and significantly smoother. More importantly, the gun will now fire with the magazine removed, giving you one emergency shot if everything else goes wrong. The legal nightmare is that you're removing a mandated safety feature. In states like California, Massachusetts, and New Jersey, magazine disconnects are legally required on handgun rosters. Removing one could reclassify your gun as illegal to possess. Even in states without these requirements, if you're ever involved in a defensive shooting, prosecutors can argue you modified your gun to be more dangerous. Some firearms instructors actually teach retention techniques that deliberately dump the magazine during a struggle, which makes this modification particularly controversial from a tactical standpoint. The modification takes less than 15 minutes with basic tools, but the legal consequences can last a lifetime depending on where you live. Loaded chamber indicator removal. Loaded chamber indicators are mechanical flags or viewports that stick up or become visible when a round is chambered. They're required by law in California and Massachusetts for handguns on approved rosters. These devices use spring-loaded arms that drag across the cartridge case as it feeds, creating parasitic friction that can cause feeding malfunctions. Reliability studies show LCI-equipped guns experience 1.8 to 3.2% higher failure rates with defensive ammunition compared to identical models without indicators. The modification involves removing the LCI mechanism entirely and installing a low-profile plug, or simply leaving the space empty depending on the design. This eliminates the friction point and cleans up the sight picture. Feeding reliability improves measurably, and there's one less component to break or malfunction. You're removing a legally mandated safety device, which immediately voids warranties and potentially creates legal possession issues, depending on your jurisdiction. If the gun is ever involved in a defensive use, removing a safety warning device gives prosecutors powerful ammunition to argue you modified the weapon to be more dangerous. Insurance companies can deny coverage for incidents involving modified guns. The irony is that most experienced shooters never rely on these indicators anyway. They physically check the chamber by racking the slide or visually inspecting it. This creates a situation where you're removing a legally protected feature that trained shooters consider redundant in the first place. Every one of these modifications comes with serious trade-offs between performance, reliability, and legal risk. Make sure you understand exactly what you're gambling with before you make any changes. If this breakdown helped you see your handgun differently, smash that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me which modification surprised you most. I'll see you in the next one.